Good afternoon, Chair Kim, Supervisor Campos, Supervisor Farrell. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Bruce Wolfe. I currently serve as the Chief Information Officer for Alcohol Justice in San Rafael, and we are a national and sometimes international consumer advocacy watchdog in helping to protect our children from very pointed and direct alcohol ads that could lead them down a wrong road. I've been a San Francisco resident since 1993, and I received a master's degree from San Francisco State in social work. Thank you for the opportunity once again of your consideration for appointment to the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force. As a person with a mobility disability, I fulfill the requirement of seat number 8, which I'm applying for unless you see fit to appoint me to another such seat as number 6, 7, 9, or 10, which I am also eligible for too. Something happened between my computer and my printer, and those should have ended up on my form. My history is well known here, and my complete resume is attached, as you've seen. And I currently serve as the chair, assuming the role from our previous chair, Hope Johnson, who decided to step down a little early. I enjoy the work and service to the citizens and residents of San Francisco in this way of helping to ensure open government. While fully employed, I'm able to fulfill my duties on the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force. There's still much to do and much to streamline, much to build on. We can do this together with a little bit of cooperation and communication between all of us. The Sunshine Ordinance is, after all, simply based on state laws that we all take an oath in upholding. We should continue to assure that we do and ensure this august body stays intact. I am committed to its efficacy and continued success, as I know you are too. There is a lot I bring to this body in experience and expertise and history to add to the collective brain trust. For instance, as an IT professional with the changing environment of technology comes new and innovative ways to deliver services. And I've been a participant for this in some time. And our open meeting laws and the public disclosure, even from the state, also saw that in the future to include that. And the Sunshine Ordinance has also taken that as part of its charge, too. As the city's new technology systems come online, more efficiency of compliance of Sunshine will be apparent, thus reducing time in fulfilling the public's requests. This is for certain, because it gives the opportunity for staff to take a document that they're working on that they know is public, and just by a simple click can make it public and have it up on that department's website. That way it's available for the general public to have access to without having to make a request for it. As a social worker, martial arts instructor, life coach, and an IT computer trainer, I bring ample methods of instructional delivery to help bolster training in Sunshine where it's needed. The Sunshine Task Force has not had a retreat in some time, and I think retreats are important, as I'm sure you folks have retreats when you had first came onto the board. You haven't? Okay. But I find retreats to be very important for people who are new, that don't understand, and to help with instructional memory. You can bring old members back to help out, and that is one of the things I plan on doing if reappointed. There's much to be done in increasing the efficiency of the Sunshine Task Force process and its charge. Over the past 2 years, much progress has been made to bring inefficiencies into order, and if it be your pleasure, I plan on continuing this participation in conjunction with various connected city offices to continue that trend towards fruition. Some of these areas are increased training to struggling departments, streamlining the hearing process to reduce time spent by all parties, resolving concerns about compliance at the administrative level before becoming an official complaint, ensuring administration of the SOTF functions are adequately supported so that it can perform efficiently. These are just a smattering of ideas. So once again, I appreciate the opportunity to serve, and will work deliberately and more closely with you and the city family to ensure that both we maintain the integrity of open government and deliver it to the people of the city and county of San Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. Wolfe. I'm assuming this is the same question. I don't know, Mr. Wolfe, if you can address the
I can.
The quorum issue that was brought up.
This was not an easy one for the task force to make. It was done with due diligence. It was not done in defiance. It was not done to circumvent what other bodies and that make decisions are in the city. after a lot of research and reading and reading and reading over and over and searching through the charter and all the administrative codes, under Section 4104, it only speaks to boards, commissions, and departments of the executive branch. The Sunshine Ordinance Task Force is not of that. It was created by the voters. And it actually, there's no mention in the Sunshine Ordinance that it reports to the executive branch at all. It reports, if anything, reports to the Board of Supervisors as advisory. And so that is what led us to feel that it was appropriate to make those changes.
So, okay, question for you. So I have the opinion of the city attorney here. That says,
Is it an opinion or is it advice? Because I believe...
It's a memo. It's a memo. How's that?
Okay, memo.
So it says you guys are subject to it. So I guess how do you guys at the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, how have you viewed the city attorney's, our city attorney's advice memos?
Well, we viewed it in relation to what is currently in the code. And when we searched to see if this particular body was encompassing under the section that they referred to, it didn't seem like we applied at all.
I understand that that's your opinion, but, you know, I think, for instance, on the Board of Supervisors, we take our city attorney's opinion very seriously and abide by it, especially when there's clear decisions that they give us, or opinions. And I'm trying to get to understand, do you view it as kind of advisory comments, or do you view it as because how you guys feel about it is kind of interesting. I think we all rely on our attorneys, and especially our city attorney.
I understand. We had asked for a reason why at the time, and we did not get a response. It was just, this is the way it is. So it was a differencing, I guess, of opinion, because what is written in our city codes speaks to boards and commissions and other bodies that are under the executive branch. And so that question came up with silence on the response. So it makes it a little difficult to then move forward. But at the time, we were having some issues with regards to attendance. There were some vacant seats, so that made it very difficult too. And we felt that to have 6 members show up, which would constitute a quorum and a voting quorum, that it was important that the public had the best opportunity to get its justice when it needed to, or the respondent to get its justice when it needed to. So if there were one person can vote no, and justice would not be served, or justice would be served, depending upon what the issue was.
Supervisor Campos.
I don't really need to hear more from Mr. Wolfe, and let me just say that I have a great deal of respect for Mr. Wolfe, and I think that his work around these issues is very clear and has been demonstrated for many, many years. I do think, though, that there is a fundamental misunderstanding of the role of the charter relative to any body. As a city, as a charter city, which we are, we have unique powers and authority in San Francisco. And the charter really is the constitution of the people of the city and county of San Francisco. And in that sense, it becomes a living document that really outlines a democratic form of government and self-government for the people of the city and county of San Francisco. So to the extent that the reference of the Sunshine Ordinance goes to the people, it all comes out of the city charter. It's the same way that every single basic fundamental right that we enjoy as Americans comes directly from the U.S. Constitution. You cannot exist as a Sunshine Task Force. We cannot exist as a body, as a Board of Supervisors, without the charter itself. And so I don't think that, irrespective of what the code says, that a body that is created by the voters can disregard the very foundation on which democratic government was created for the voters of San Francisco. I just don't see how legally or otherwise that would be possible. And to the extent that you're advisory to the Board of Supervisors, the supervisors to which you're advisory to can never disregard the charter itself. And in fact, when an item to change the constitution of the city, to change the charter, you actually have to go to the voters of San Francisco. Because the charter is essentially what gives government the power on behalf of the voters. And so, in so doing and disregarding this charter, you're essentially, I think, disrespecting the voters of San Francisco. And I know that people felt differently, but I just think that underlying that there's a fundamental misunderstanding of what the charter is and what the charter represents. And if a body like the Sunshine Task Force can unilaterally disregard the charter, then any government body can disregard any other document, including the Sunshine Ordinance itself, which legally as an ordinance actually has less legal power and is less binding than the charter itself. So if it is the case that a government entity like the Sunshine Task Force can disregard the Constitution of the city, then any government entity can disregard any law. And so you're talking about going to the very foundation of how democratic government works in San Francisco.
And if I can respond, I understand completely what you're saying. And again, this was not meant in defiance of the city. That wasn't necessarily the
Mr.
intent.
Wolfe, I'm sorry if I can just interrupt. I know
Sure.
this wasn't really a question for you to respond to, but if I could just ask a specific question.
Sure.
Given, I think, what my colleagues are saying, and I strongly agree as well, I mean, if we reappoint you to the task force, would you consider, I guess, complying under the charter as a
Absolutely.
body and working with us to figure out how we can structurally work with the task force to ensure that you have quorum over adjudicative decisions?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, by virtue of this coming into place, I think that maybe it happened once, but we haven't had a quorum problem since. And since we did update our attendance, made our attendance rules stronger and made them more explicit, everybody's been on notice.
Thank you.
And I've had an excellent record despite my recent health issues. So thank you very much.
But we are glad to see that you are back in health, and I know
Thank
that you are out for that reason. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Next, we have Karen Sue Rolfe.